We're going to be covering a lot here. This is a learning stream, a learning segment, and you guys are more than welcome to put into it whatever you put into it. Got your chance to be on a short or a YouTube video. So here's how it's going to go. Since January, I've always tried to be this open-minded, realist, genuine motherfucker on the internet, right? And that's the whole idea and topic of tonight's stream for our event that we do every Friday on the channel. So basically we start off with our intro, outline what we're gonna do with the stream, and this is gonna pertain to what's coming up later in the stream. Storytelling, obviously I tell a story. That's kind of how I like to get my mind into engaging with people that are watching and stuff like that. I'm gonna do my best to be open and honest with you guys while I outline my entire content strategy, how I stream, what goes in behind the scenes, so you guys can see what all I do behind the scenes and stuff like that. Ultimately, the goal is to make all of you that support me a successful streamer and influencer. And that, you know, that ties into like building your own successful communities across multiple platforms, not just Discord. So I mean, I've even got like, dude, this is how I do my stream every time, man. I've got bulletins to keep me on track of stuff that I want to talk about. If like, there's a lot that goes into it behind the scenes, and I'm trying, damn it. We're going to straight to the fucking top, but like, damn, man, it's tough. I used to, when I first came out with streaming and stuff, I used to like take a lot of time to script out an entire script to get me in the, it was one of those failure stepping stones to get me to the point where I'm at now. It was just to get me in the mindset of like talking and how you got to work yourself up to it over time. At least that's how it was for me, because like being on camera, the first stream I ever did, I was just like, well, video games, right? Oh my God, somebody's in here. Now they're fucking watching me, dude. Oh God, what do I do? And then they're gone and I'm like, shit, okay. So then what it became was I would script my entire stream, and then it was like me staring at a script, speaking word for word what's going on just to make a talking point. And it was like all monotoned and like shitty, and it wasn't good. It definitely wasn't the spin that you're getting now. And again, those are all wins. It got me used to talking. It got me used to like telling stories. It got me, you know, it got me to the point where I'm at now. I'm not by any means this one all be all successful creator by any means, but one day I'm going to be in the top 10 of fucking Twitch. That might sound delusional. That might sound like dude's lost his mind. It's not. It's going to happen, man. I am one that thinks that it is mainly influenced by skill, how successful a person is. And to get skill, you have to fail. In order to fail, you have to do the thing. You have to learn from the failures, use them as a stepping stone, and we're going to the fucking top. When I first started in January, again, after being burnt out, sounding like a broken record, I know, but it helps the story. I went back and I watched like my first 10 streams, and I wanted to beat my fucking head against the wall. How boring, and just my interactions with people that would randomly pop in, it was awful. It was cringe times 1,000 hot garbage dookie. Ugh. Like, you have no idea. But then I was like in that mindset of being like down about it a little bit, watching a couple YouTube videos again on how to be a successful creator. I was like, it finally started to stick what they were saying. You know what I mean? How do I expect somebody to sit here and watch me stream if I can't even stomach to watch it myself? That's fucking disrespectful. Now I watch my streams back and I'm actually like, I might be my #1 biggest fan. If you took a side-by-side comparison of the two people, you'd be like, this is not the same guy. I'm proud of the stuff that I'm doing finally, and I think that's the biggest part of all of it, you know? And that just comes in with like our next topic that we're going to talk about too, of like why volume beats perfection. Scripting out your content, thinking about the words you're going to say. I treat every stream as me recording a YouTube video because one, it puts me on the spot. Number two, I can't go back and re-record it. And that mindset alone is fucking top tier. I highly recommend it. It's not for everybody, but I highly recommend it to the ones that think they could apply that to themselves. I think we're going to use Microsoft Paint as well, because I think the clip aspect of everything would make it it'd make it good. And I kind of got that inspiration from Pirate Software. I didn't get inspiration. That's how I came up with the idea, was Pirate Software. If somebody can watch you stencil out something, it's so good for engagement. I think we start off with defining your own content strategy. I think of 3 different categories for defining my own content strategy. Okay, so define your own content strategy. How do we do this? You gotta have, to me, you gotta have the ability to properly communicate. You gotta be able to tell a story, and you gotta be able to entertain. So communication boils down to engaging with chat, being clear and concise with your own communication, and then encouraging chat to respond. Well, how do you encourage them to respond? Through storytelling. You have to keep them hooked. You have to make the content a journey for them. And how you tell a story, to me, is you start with a goal. My goal with the story that I told at the beginning of chat, I was late because of going to a Japanese grill with my mother-in-law, right, for her birthday. That's my goal of the story. How do I cover this? So I've got my goal. I have to understand my target audience. So generally, from my analytics on Twitch, my target audience is people my age. I mean, my analytics on Twitch tell me that. So okay, they could clearly communicate, or they have a similarity to me. So how would I be receptive to a conversation about someone going out to eat? Well, that's when I bring in my children. Maybe they have kids too. I don't know. I don't care. I love talking about my children though. See what I'm doing here? It's not like bait, snaky, or anything like that. It's just strategic to make your point in the most engaging way possible to tell a story. And then you got to think of a conflict. What was my conflict? My conflict was my daughter being terrified of the fire. And then my resolution. What was my resolution? We ate pretty damn good food. Once the fire went away, life was good. We ate some birthday cake, and we had a good night, and here we are. Now we're streaming. That's my resolution. So again, just to recap, how to properly tell a story, you got to establish a goal. You have to define your target audience. You have to determine your conflict. And this isn't a conflict of like a bad thing. This is a conflict of like how it affects the story. Our last one is our entertainment value. Okay. So with all of your content, we've established how to communicate. We've established how to tell a story, but how do we entertain? How am I entertaining you right now? There's a video that I found through my entire journey of 3 E's of entertainment. Kind of change that in my own terms. So through entertainment, what it means to me is we still got emotion. We got our emotion aspect, and that goes back into the other 2 categories here in storytelling. How does that resonate with your target audience? How do you properly spread emotion through communication? And honestly, it's not entertaining to sit here and watch you cry. But if you can have passion behind the stuff that you're saying, proper emphasis on the right stuff, I think it goes a long way to open up and tell people your past experiences. I really do. And through emotion, you got to have proper energy for the situation. What I mean by that is I can't sit here and be like Ninja and be a fucking troll and be like, yeah, boys, let's fucking go. Let's do it. Let's learn how to define our. No, that's not applicable to our situation. Our energy is exactly, in my mind, the type of YouTube videos that I respond with and watch. How do we learn? How do we open up constructive conversations that people want to talk more about? That's the kind of energy that you have to be for that specific application. Now, if we're playing games and I'm trolling on some people, yeah, I'm going to be a troll. You got to think of your content, your type of energy that you can bring, and what people reciprocate well with. You know what I mean? And then the last one is setting yourself apart from everybody else. There's way too many people out there to think that you can just go live and everything is just gonna come in hand over fist and you're just gonna be queso overnight. Not how it goes. Switching gears a little bit, I've done a lot of research about how, like, what makes a creator successful. And how I've done that research is I have it's kind of weird. I think it might not be that weird. Ludwig, for example, the famous streamer Ludwig, is a big inspiration for me. Some of the ridiculous shit that he will do just to make a video, it's inspiring. You got to at least give the guy credit that he is very fucking good. He is very good at his own words, yoink and twisting something into his own brand and becoming a huge success while doing that. What I did was I researched people like Ludwig, and I'm like, okay, I got to watch his streams. How do I expect to be a streamer if I can't stream, if I can't watch a stream? I spent an entire 2 years not watching anybody stream. During my year break, I started watching a lot of Ludwig, and I was like, oh, I'm starting to see how he communicates with his chat. I'm starting to see how this, how that, blah, 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 blah. Seeing when he posts, what he posts about. Researching him. Why is he successful? He's fucking good. He is fucking good, man. He's really good at what he does. And it's inspiring. He was a dude that just started out doing it for fun, wanted to be a journalist, and then was like, nah, fuck that. I'm going to be a streamer. And boom, went to the top. That's not luck. That's not a coincidence. So what I noticed the most about Ludwig was he had structure, consistency. So how do we become successful? We have to have structure. We have to be consistent. So let's talk about structure first. What's that look like? Well, to have structure, we have to identify our brand. So what's my brand? Well, I like retro video games. I like new games. I'm a gamer. I've been gaming since I was 2. I'm very passionate about family, my values that creates my core of my being, and helping others in a positive light. If you want my brand, that's what it is. You just got to keep reminding yourself what your brand is. With your brand, the biggest thing that you have to keep in mind is your persona. How do people look at you? How do people see you? Because they don't see all the stuff behind the scenes. They don't see all the work that goes in behind the scenes. They only see the short 1 minute to 3 minute clip on YouTube, the 10-minute video on YouTube, the social media post. If it's offhanded, that's how they're going to think of you. If it's negative, that's how they're always going to think of you. It doesn't follow your brand. So every single thing that you post on X, Instagram, YouTube, everything you stream, everything you say is supposed to be supporting your brand to create the overall persona. You gotta basically be authentic and genuine to yourself, but strategic on how you execute it. You gotta define a schedule. And how do we define a schedule? You got to establish, I mean, if you want to be successful with this and you truly want to be successful, you got to put the work in. You got to treat it for what it is. It's a job. And it's not no like 9 to 5, where where you just clock in, clock out. No, me personally, I'm working at it constantly. It might be, you know, my family and I are out doing something. It's literally just, I got to make a post on Twitter real quick. It's for my job. It's where I want to go. It's my vision for my career with this. I kind of think of it like a mother with her child. My wife, for example, can cook, clean the house, stuff like that, and also care for her child. What I'm saying is this dream, this vision that I have for content creation, I think of it the same way. My streaming dream is my child, and I should always have time to put a little bit of effort into it because it's something that I genuinely care about. So with becoming consistent and creating a schedule, how do we also get there? So we're brainstorming, we're weighing in on our personal lives, personal motives, and personal goals, and yada yada yada. It's got to take a mindset shift. And the reason you have to have a mindset shift is to establish this persona, which is establishing this brand, which is giving you structure, which in turn gives you consistency. It comes back full swing. It's a revolving door. So how do we get a mindset shift? You got to realize that it's more than just gaming. You can't get on Twitch every day, go live, play your video games, and clock out. You have to go the extra mile and put some effort in. The days of just going live and getting huge because of it, they're gone. They're gone. It's literally going to take people that are like delusional, like myself, thinking that if they work hard, they develop a bunch of skills, have some structure and consistency, that they can achieve going to the top. If you don't have that drive or that motivation, then you're not going to achieve success. And success is different to everybody else. Success to me is being proud of my work, being proud of the stuff that I post on YouTube and the streams that I do. It's being able to support my family without having to work a corporate job. If I can go full time with this, edit videos, post them, and support my family, that's my success. The additional delusional factor of it is I'm going straight to the fucking tippy top. We're going to be in the top 10 of Twitch. I'm not stopping. I'm not slowing down. We're getting there. You have to realize that it's not just about gaming. Myself, for example, you got to realize that Twitch, YouTube, other platforms, they've almost became their final form of evolution, if you will. They're entertainment hubs. People go to these platforms to be entertained. So when you look back, are you entertaining? 9 times out of 10, me personally, I'm not. Remember back, what's it take to be entertaining? You got to show some emotion. You've got to have the right energy, tell a story. It all comes back full swing. You have to have structure. You got to be consistent. Those people just see a random clip. They see another random clip. They don't know your schedule. They don't know your brand. They don't know your persona. If they keep watching your clips because they're entertaining, they will start subconsciously coming back, checking in, coming back. That's what the algorithm loves. That's why consistency is so big for the algorithm. And you got to realize for Twitch, for example, as of January, when I was last looking at the numbers, I haven't looked recently, there was 7.7 million active streamers. So for anybody in here that is also a fellow streamer, actually stand back, look at from the outside in, look at your content, look at your Twitch streams, look at everything that you do to build up your persona that is enforcing your brand, and say, how do I stand out? The minute that you do that, if you have the realization and be honest with yourself, be 100% genuine and honest with yourself, you got to stay true to yourself through all of this. If you say, I am not different, all I do is post a gaming clip religiously, how do you expect to find success there? Honestly. And once you start answering these hard questions, like I said, it's kind of like hippie shit that I've done. This is where there's a reason for me that I spent 2 years, 21 to 23, with 0 viewers, 0 viewers, 200 subs on YouTube. Only thing I got. There is a reason that I spent a year still coming back and going, do I want to quit this? Do I not? Nope. Just took a break for a year. Said I'm never going back. There's a reason with these things being applied that I'm talking about that I am at 700 subscribers in 3 months on YouTube. There's a reason that I am at 770 subscribers on Twitch. There's a reason that I got my first $200 payout ever on the platform. I saw that hit my business account and I wanted to cry because I fucking did it. I got paid to make videos and play video games. I fucking did it. I got so burnt out and down on myself that I said, it's never gonna happen. I fucking hang in the towel. Doing it for a couple years, coming back with a different mindset, applying myself, being more structured and consistent. I have now officially got my first $200 paycheck on Twitch. That's not luck. So again, if you guys can, come with me down the journey and try to listen to what I'm saying, get your own mindset about these things, how it applies to you. I promise things will change. You got to keep in mind too, content creation and streaming, it's long term. It's not quick overnight success. It's not Ninja, Queso, Isenat, Ludwig, anybody else you can think of. That mentality will burn you out. You got to learn that it's your own terms. You know, you're not just a streamer. You're not just someone that plays video games. You're a creator building your own brand and experience for somebody else. Streaming is not the hardest job that you'll ever do in your life. I'm sorry, it's not. For me, it's not. I get to make my own schedule. I get to choose what I discuss and talk about, manage the business in my own capacity. Exactly. And all of those ideas that you have on when you watch him game and stuff like that, man, that's when I don't know another way to describe it other than Ludwig. So I want to make sure that I always give him credit for it. But that's where you take that inspiration from the videos you're watching and you yoink and twist and say, how does Dano apply that to something that fits his brand and persona? And then you take the exact same idea, how you would execute it, and you make it something completely different. You yoink the idea, you twist it, make it for yourself, man. That's what I've been doing with everything. I think you also have to have the ability to grow, adapt, and learn as well on the mindset shift here. Because if you don't, you're just going to fade away and fizzle out to nothing. And like, once you have that clip that goes viral, I still have never had that moment. Once I do, I know exactly what I'm going to do, man. So say Instagram, if I posted a video of me dancing, unfortunately, I'm going to have to dance once in a while, and that sucks because I hate dancing. But all of this, I just want you to go out of your way, think of goals, think of where you want to be in 6 months, a year, 5 years, apply it to yourself and see what happens. Jot it down on a piece of paper so you don't forget. This entire topic of streaming, the YouTube video that I'm going to cut and edit and make and post on YouTube, it's to generate constructive ideas for yourself as the viewer so you can apply these thoughts to how to better yourself in a successful way. My mindset was the same as yours here. I'll tell you my goals. I'll tell you my goals right now. My personal goals with content creation. So I used to be one like yourself, where I would go for numbers and subs and stuff like that. But then being in the new formed mindset that I'm in, I thought about, why am I so focused on numbers? So I wanted to actually like just be creative. Like I had to like be real and honest with myself, because when you set your numbers there and you keep finding that you're not hitting numbers, not hitting numbers, I'm being real with you, brother. That's when it starts getting damaging and you're like, dude, I fucking suck at this. I'm done. I'm telling you, I've been there, and I'm lucky to be back, man. I really am, because I was like, fuck that, I'm done, never doing it again. Every quarter I would set out goals. I would set it 10 above where my number was at. Wouldn't be able to hit it. Okay, let's try 5 numbers above where I wouldn't hit it. And then my content would decline. It would start going downhill real quick. Another goal of mine is to be delusional. Have a delusional ambition that I'm going to make it. And that's not saying that I've went nuts or crazy or off the deep end. That's just saying, look, man, this is not a normal career path. It's not. That's a delusional ambition to find your success. Another one is being punctual. All of this being said, how am I going to do it? Positively affect others. There's that emotion. That's where I found that. How do I do this? We make value in the content that we make. So the next section that I think we need to cover is how we build a community. The biggest thing for me right now that I am focusing on, take my Discord server for example. I want to boost engagement. I want people to feel like their voice is heard, not just to me or me to the viewer or the viewer to viewer. I want them to feel like they're actually proud in the conversations that's taken place within the server. I want them to make a lot of friends and, you know, game with one another. And it's not just a streamer server for his community. It's a community of like-minded people that I have gone out of my way to find, to bring people closer together in a positive, powerful, impactful way. You know what I mean? If that makes sense. So I think the biggest thing for engagement with a community, you got to realize that all of those people that you get behind you in your corner, these viewers, they're not just a number. They're more than just a number. And that's why I turn my numbers off. That's why I turn this off. That's why the only time I look at my numbers is when I see the post stream report come out of how many people. Every single time it's been more and more and more and more. And I'm like, holy fuck. Dude, there was one the other day that I had 118 people throughout the course of my stream come in. I averaged almost 30 people. Dude, what the hell? That's fucking nuts, man. End of December, I was at 0. By the middle of January, I was averaging 2. By the middle of February, I was averaging about 8. Now we're getting close to like higher, like 20s. That's nuts, man. So you got to realize, in order to build a community, it's going to take more engagement for the viewers. Always. And that should come first into you building a community. So when you're building a community and you're doing anything for the community, you got to ask yourself first and foremost, how is this going to affect my viewers? Is it going to increase engagement? And is it going to help the community? If it doesn't, then it's not a good idea. And then with community, you got to ask yourself, why are they here? You got to ask the why. And that's going to be value. What is your community doing to provide? What are you doing for your community to provide value? Well, that's when you can brainstorm other ideas. And that's where we have those 4 ideas from earlier. You can do tutorials. You can do some type of resource. For me, for example, I do the overlays or news articles or blah, 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 blah. We touched on engagement, having constructive discussions for the betterment of the other people that are around. And, you know, it could be just to support myself, others within the community. These are the people that I'm trying to find. These are the things that I'm trying to do with my Discord, for example. Let's look over my Discord. So I've got the go-getter moderators, which were where we have like our admin notes. This is like documentation of anything that goes against the rules that are clearly posted here. And then we can act appropriately when the time comes. you got to have checks and balances. You can't just change the rules any way, shape, or form that you see fit. We've got server announcements. If we ever need to post an announcement that might be a reoccurring announcement, we can harbor them here, so we can just copy paste. We've got mod notes. We've got my entire stream chat log, so we can say, hey, did you see that? How do you feel about this message through moderation? We can get better as a team. It's not just gonna be me. I'm just the face of the party. A person in streaming is only as good as the team that they have, the people that they have supporting them in their corner. And for the longest time, I've had nothing. I've had no one, nada, zilch. I've got server essentials, everything for the viewers to see what my vision of the server is. Okay, this is the entirety of everything. So then you have a welcome in, which is just a welcome message. You have the rules, a breakdown of the rules, the overall go-getters announcement, an entire map of where, I mean, a lot of time. Yeah, it does. It's just, I think you got to be careful with banking on those. Like just looking good, talking about your personal struggles, and playing games. Those three things are not strong enough together in a combination to keep people hanging around for a long time. I am going for long, sustainable growth to get to the top over time. Once I get higher numbers, I'm going to start looking at lower games where I'm always at the top. Once we're at the top of all the games, I have an entire strategy. Once I get to this, we're going to do this. We're going to play these games. I mean, so much research. I've just never had the privilege of being able to properly execute those things that I want to do, you know? With the Discord, different rules. It outlines everybody, who they are, stuff like that. And then server support, nobody's had an issue yet. Great, we're doing something right. I had to put my own section in so you can see where I'm streaming, yada, yada, yada. The rest is for the entire community. You know what I mean? And one thing that I want to point out is I should never do this. You should never do this in your Discord server. You should never at everyone, because I had the realization when I made, I think it was this post. Yeah, it was recently 3/9/25. As soon as I posted it, I was like, dude, I just pinged 60 some people. What happens to me when that happens? I fucking mute the server. When people start doing the at everyone, me personally, I fucking mute the server, dude. And that leads into what we're going to talk about. You got to make your announcements basically their own buy-in on what they want announcements for with server pings. Like this. Stream notifications. So anybody that wants to see me go live, they can enable stream notifications so they know when I'm live. Anybody that wants to see community text chats, see where I'm going with that? It pings a specific notification that the viewer has decided to buy into. I want to see more of that stuff. It brings value to the community. It's strategically done in a sense where it's not overbearing to just at everyone every single instance of everything that goes on in the server. There is servers in here that I had to mute because the notifications just said +99. I'm sorry, but nobody has that much time that they can just devote every ounce of energy that they have into your community. It's disrespectful, again, to think that anybody would, you know? So then we have Go-Getters text chat. We have the streamer zone, which is all of the like resources for the Go-Getters Club members to say, hey, this guy's cool. We've got suggestions where you can suggest something to me. We've got news. We've got this. We've got that. I did this. It's an announcement channel for partnered communities. Basically, look back in a year and see where we're at and remember all the cool interactions that's got us in the Go-Getters Club to where we're at now. And then all of these are like, I want this to be gaming news articles that just every time they post on their website, it just automatically generates in here. And then I'm going to make a @gaming news ping so anybody can subscribe to those. The onboarding process, it needs to be simple. I've joined servers recently where I almost get stressed because I don't know what they're asking me. Like the one that I hate the most is, what do you want to do in this Discord server? I don't know. I haven't been here yet. I don't know how to answer this. You don't give me anything that I can respond with that I know the direction you're going in. It's just, what do you want with this Discord server? Open line for your response. Have you seen that? It's like, I don't know. I watch you on streams. I thought I'd support you in your Discord server, but I don't know what you expect or want me doing in your Discord server. It should be simple. Do you support Ben? Yes or no? Did somebody else invite you to the server? Yes or no? Are you interested in seeing when Ben goes live or posts on other socials? Yes or no? Are you here to make friends, grow, and support others? Yes or no? I should be able to properly set up notifications for each of those. Are you interested in seeing server announcements? Yes or no? You know, I like keep going and going and going and going. I've spent a lot of time in probably 50 to 100 different Discord servers recently, and I'm like, this one does this very well, this one does this very poorly, this one does this very well, this one I don't like at all. And I want to be known as the person that's like, damn dude, your Discord server is fucking popping. How the hell did you do this? I think there's a lot of value in that mindset, that people customize their own experience for the Discord server, and then if they are proud to be a part of the server, they basically feel like they've been heard, factoring in all the value that it brings to the people in the server. I think that's the formula for like a very, very fucking quick growing community. All right. Love you guys. I'll see you in the next one. Should be tomorrow. I have to work on Sunday, so I'll see you guys then. Love you guys.